Hey, what's up, everybody? Hope you guys are all doing well today. It's Thursday, almost the end of the week. I got a couple questions from Jan yesterday, so I just want to go ahead and knock them out, answer them. So, excuse me. Let's get right into it. This is my second time recording this video. I got interrupted, but this is I think she asked some really important questions, so really want to get into these. But okay, so first question was, do I trade only the MES, only MGC and M2K? Answer is yes. She said, how do I choose what to trade in the morning? So right when I wake up, I start off on the hourly chart and go through what each ticker is doing, and then I look on the lower time frames and see if they're setting up accordingly. So the best way I can explain it is, if one is setting up better than the other, I'll just pay attention to that one. And then, if one of them seems to be like there's a potential for a setup, I will set my alerts and I'll just have it on the back burner. But I feel that having just 3 to choose from really helps with FOMO, helps with choosing AAA trades, because I only have so many options to choose from, right? So I've traded oil. I like trading oil. I think there's some other good futures vehicles you could be trading, but for me, MNQ, the Nasdaq as well, is a really nice trader. Thing's a beast. But these 3 are my favorites. So yeah, I'll go through my hourly chart and then switch over to 5. And yeah, like I said, look to see what's setting up the best. And what I mean by setting up the best is basically, is everything in line for a trade when the market opens at 9:30? Because one of my rules, like I always say, is I don't trade until 9:30, the market open, New York open. So if something is setting up well enough that once the market opens, it could potentially just work right out of the gate, then that's where I'll put my focus. And then her second question was, how do I find my levels, my support and resistance levels? And I think this is a great question. The way I find my levels is thanks to Darren, Best Forex Method, and Wicks Don't Lie. They both gave me some really good information. So just to start off, I get my levels off the hourly and the 4-hour. Those are the strongest levels, the most important levels. So I'll always start from the 1 hour, always looking at levels from here. And for instance, this morning when I woke up, I looked at MES, I looked at the hourly chart, and I saw we're putting in new lows. Doesn't look like RSI is really following through. And then you notice that we're starting to put in lower lows. It's starting to go to the upside. So I'm thinking long right away from outside, or once the market opens. So with that, I'm going to start looking for resistance. The way I find resistance is looking for the strongest sellers, and the strongest sellers are the ones that are creating new lows in downtrends. These are the ones that are essentially fleshing out these buyers. So they're the strongest sellers beating out the buyers. This is an example here. We have these sellers that created a new low, broke this low here, so they beat out these buyers. These are strong sellers. We have another one here. Strong sellers beat out these buyers here, created a new low. And then another really important one, this didn't create a new low, but it was the high that created this downtrend, which means it was basically the catalyst that these sellers here were strong enough to create a whole new trend. So these are not sellers I want to be messing around with. So all of these levels, what I do with them is I trade in between them. I try to trade either the break above, the close above, and then in between these clear zones. So it might look like they're very close together, but when you translate these over to the 5-minute, you can see that there's actually quite a good amount of space to trade through, and especially with the amount of pips that I'm looking for per trade. Like I say, always 6 to 10, somewhere around there. If I get more, then awesome, but usually I can find my trades in between these areas, and if they're too close together, then I just won't trade it. I just will avoid it and wait till I get to some clear space. So you can see exactly, and always, one other thing, always look left. So you can see we had these other areas of resistance here. Same exact criteria. This high here created a downtrend, so strong sellers. This high here created a downtrend, so strong sellers. And look, this old resistance here, look what it's still being respected. So always look left, because there are strong resistances that you might have missed that are still in play. So now that we have these resistance here, I'm going to delete this one because it's kind of, now we're looking for our longs or our supports. You can see we got rejected. So now how am I going to look for my support? The same exact way. So again, let's start here. We had this area where sellers stepped in and created a new uptrend, so I don't want to mess with those sellers. We had these buyers here. We had these buyers here that created this new high. We had these buyers here, and presto, we have our support to trade through. And now let's look at the 5-minute, see how that looks. And there was a couple really nice trades on MES today, so I'll explain those. We had this 3CR here, and then we got it was a bust pullback break and close as well. Once it broke this previous low in this downtrend, you could have traded it from this low here, which would have been over here, would have been the break of this low down to this support area, and that's your trade. And then we got another trade here, another bust pullback break and close. And again, once it broke the low of this downtrend, because you want to be trading with trend, once it broke this low and the support level, boom, you get this crazy drop. So everything was already projected to us. We already saw that we had the bust pullback break and close. We were downtrending below the dragon. Everything was there. And we used our hourly levels to guide us, to show us where we're going to be trading in between and around. So those are MES levels. I'll go over MGC really quick as well, because that was nice as well. I'm not going to go through everything. I'm just going to mark up these levels. I was looking for a long this morning, so with that in mind, I'm looking to draw out my resistance so I can see one here. Got resistance here. We have some resistance here. Got some resistance here. So let's mark that up. And we have some resistance here. Okay. And this might look like a lot, but like I said, once you get it over on the 5-minute, these areas in between are actually pretty wide and good enough to trade through. So again, go over to the 5-minute. We were clearly uptrending. We had a bust pullback break and close here, and look what happens. So we already had a 3CR. We're closed above the dragon. Bust pullback break and close. We have our levels to trade through. This candle closes here, next candle over, breaks through our hourly resistance, trades right up to the next one. Just to show you, that's 18 pips. So that's a wonderful trade right there. That will make your day and more. And you could have kept going. I mean, we had a bust pullback break and close again here, and then once it broke through this area of resistance, price just flew. I mean, these resistance and support levels are so powerful, and once you combine them with 3CR and RSI, it's a whole nother ball game. Just crazy. So, and to explain really quick the use of the 4-hour, if I'm ever looking at the 1 hour and I can see there's we're just in no man's land and I have to zoom out way too far, that's when I'll switch over to the 4-hour, because those levels are just as important, if not stronger. And I'll find them on here, but that's only if I can't find any and I have to zoom really far out. So usually the 1 hour will do the trick for me. Let's see. I think I explained everything. Really good question though. I mean, I feel once I figured out how to mark up my support and resistance areas, my trading just went to the next level. And one other thing. The reason I don't mark up just lines is something I got from Wickstone Lie. He said support and resistance isn't just a single price, it's a zone, they're areas. And it's so true. Once you see the way these things trade in between in these fractal little areas, you really understand just how flexible these areas are. It's not just a single price. You can't just put down a line and expect it. Sometimes it will bounce to the pip, but really you gotta have these areas. They're all areas of support and resistance. Nothing's exact like that. So I think I'm gonna leave it there. I don't want to get too confusing. I don't think I've made it confusing, hopefully. But yeah, let me know. Hopefully this helps you. Just go on your charts, go back in history, and mark up exactly these levels the way I'm showing you, and you'll see just how respected they are, and it'll boost your confidence a lot. So yeah, good question. I love when you guys ask questions, so please do always. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. So catch you guys on the next one. Later.